Call the 6:30 special council meeting to order. Roll call. Vasky.
Here.
Bendel.
Here.
Light. Here. Johnson. Huber. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any changes to the agenda? Do I have a motion to approve the agenda and the items on the consent agenda?
Motion to approve consent agenda.
A second.
Bendel,
Yes.
Vasky,
Yes.
Light,
Yes.
new business. Consider resolution 2026-56, resolution of awarding general obligation corporate purpose bonds, series 2026.
Yes. Okay, so the city had a bond sale today, and Maggie Spear from Spear Financial is here to share that information with the council. Maggie?
Sounds great. Thanks, everyone. As mentioned, I'm Maggie from Spear Financial. We have in front of you your letter explaining that the bond issue was held today, as Jennifer said. Jennifer was on the phone with me for the last 15 minutes of that 30-minute sale. I hope she found it to be an interesting process. We do let bidders, underwriters bid on that for a 30-minute period. This morning, all in the last 4 minutes, because that's typically how it happens. We had 2 bids come in, one from Northland Securities and one from UMB Bank. We are recommending this evening that you would award to Northland Securities at the interest rate of 3.9488% because it is the low interest rate. So by Iowa code, you are required to either accept the low interest rate or reject all of the bids. Based on today's interest rates and bids, we are not recommending that you would reject those bids. We think these are great and right where the market is. You can see on page 2 how those interest rates are laid out. So Northland Securities in that second to the right column says rate. They're starting those interest rates in the 2027 through 2030 maturities at 3.2. Then they go to 3.5 and some of the later maturities, and then the last maturities 4%. We've had about 6 bond sales in the last 7 to 8 days, and this is right where that market has been. Yesterday's bond sale was about 4.15%, so we're happy with the 3.94, similar sized community. It was about 1.7 million. The difference there, I talked to Jennifer, was that was 2 years longer in maturity, right? There's more risk to an investor and to an underwriter if the maturity is longer, because that just is the risk of, well, what if interest rates are 6% and they're holding a 4% bond? Or what if interest rates are 4% and they are, the market is at 2%, right? So there's good and bad, but they're hedging their bet on what these interest rates are going to be over these next, 13 years. UMB Bank's bids were similar, but they started at a little bit higher at the 3.3 and went down a little higher at the 4.25, and that's really what led their bid to not being the low bid. Also under the price, if you'll recall, bond size is $940,000. To get to $940,000, we asked the city, how much do you need in hand for your projects? Then we built a cost of issuance around that. This cost of issuance includes the amount that they can take out for like an origination fee. It's called an underwriter's discount. You can see that, again, they're taking just under $4,000 in an underwriter's discount for the $940,000. UMB Bank was taking a very similar amount, just a little bit higher, but that's very typical. They're all in the same range. The third page is our final debt service schedule. And we show the interest rates from that and that coupon column from 3.2 down to the 4%. I'll draw your attention to the line under June 1st of 2034 that says call. So that is the optional redemption date for the city. That only means at your option. Nobody can call these bonds in on you, but at that time, you would be able to pay the debt off in full. You'd be able to pay the debt down in part if you wanted to. You'd be able to refinance the debt if interest rates were lower at that time. And if interest rates were not lower, you just continue to pay the debt till the final maturity. It's just at that time or any time thereafter, you have that option. Because again, these are investments to these underwriters. If we did not offer a call feature and said, the city could pay you off at any time, the city could repay this debt at any time, we would see 5 and 6% interest rates in those first couple of years, because the underwriters want to make sure they're going to make some money by putting out their capital today to purchase. Yeah.
And is it on or before that date?
It is on that date or after that date. So when you make the June 1st, 2034 payment, let's just say you had $100,000 of extra cash on that date of June 1st, 2034, we could tell the paying agent, we want to make our normal payment and make $100,000. And the reason you would do it on that date or do it on the date that you pay interest is because you've now eliminated $100,000, so the interest accrual on the remaining from June 1st to December 1st will be a lot less because you've paid down that bond. So yeah, great question. You can see at the very beginning, if you look to the far column that says fiscal total, the first 4 years are only $55,000, $59,000 payments. That is because, and then all of a sudden those payments ramp up in 2031. We are wrapping this new debt around existing debt from 2020. So what we're doing is in these first few years, you'll pay a little from debt service, but you'll also use some road use tax we had established or determined. You could use any other source of revenue that you wanted to, but then the 2020 bond pays off in June of 2030. So when you get to 2031, you have the capability, because that bond was being paid with debt service, we have the capability of really bringing this bond on and not changing that debt service levy amount for your taxpayers. And that's pretty common. We do that fairly often, as often as we can, to wrap new debt around existing debt and what those repayment sources were of that existing debt. Again, I mentioned that you are going to use about $15,000 a year of road use tax. It's not a lot, but again, for some of these projects, that was a sensible way of using some extra cash to help buy down the tax levy rate. So I would answer any questions that you guys have. Like I said before the meeting, you'll have additional documents on your regular July meeting. Tonight, with the action in front of you, you're locking in the interest rate. The additional documents that come, it's just Jennifer and the mayor signing a whole lot of documents because bond counsel says we can't properly take an 11 o'clock sale and prepare all the documents that need to be action items and give you enough time to review those documents, right? With a public notice, should be about 24 hours. So they will do all additional. Tonight, you're just locking in the rate, locking in Northland Securities. And this closing will happen on July 23rd. There's no council meeting that day. That is just the day that the money will be wired.
So we'll have other documents July 8th meeting.
Correct.
And then
You'll send those back immediately to bond council, and then on the 23rd, you'll get a closing memo from us about 1 week before, and it will just outline for the underwriter how much they owe, and then that wire will come in that morning, and we'll have to have you or someone with the city be able to check the bank account that morning, and that in 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock hour.
I don't have any questions.
Right? We're really happy with the rates. This is, I can say that we believe the interest rates from what we've seen have come down slightly the last couple of weeks. We think that has, to do with the economy, news of, things opening back up, oil prices coming down. We think that has been a boost to some of these early maturities, that they're under 4%, and that's what we'd like to see. So.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll motion to approve the resolution 2026-256 awarding or accepting the rate from Northland Securities Inc. in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'll second that.
Bindle,
Yes.
Light,
Yes.
Basky,
Yes.
Thank you very much. You guys have a good evening.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you again for the
Mayor,
special.
did you hand me something?
He already gave it to me.
Perfect. All right,
Thanks.
safe travels.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Consider resolution 2026-255, approving year-end budget transfers for fiscal year 26. As the city administrator has some.
I wanted to just make that an item so that if anyone had questions regarding the memo that I proposed for the transfers, I'd be happy to discuss those if you'd like me to.
I don't have any questions.
Okay, otherwise, I think the memo was pretty thorough. And then again, just the resolution 2026-255 for the end of fiscal year 26 budget transfers.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-260, 255, approving year-end budget transfer for fiscal year 26.
I'll second.
Maskey,
Yes.
Light,
Yes.
Bendel.
Yes.
Consider resolution 2026-260, approving.
255. You did it, just like I did.
Oh, he's moving 60.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
the next one.
He's moved on. A lot of twos, a lot of sixes and fives.
A lot.
Sorry, it doesn't help that they're a little out of order with the numbers because I wanted to make sure that Maggie had an opportunity to go first.
Got it.
Okay, so 2026, go ahead, Mayor.
2026-260, approving the purchase and implementation of a new municipal website through Catalyst. If you would like to.
Again, I think I was pretty thorough, but I'll go ahead and do a recap. So over the last, a little over a year, we initially, when I came on in 2023, we went ahead and launched the website that was through our software company, which was GWorks. As several of you know, that got us by, and it was better than what we previously had. But now that we get into the website design, getting the code of ordinances codified and up online, there are a lot of features that I feel we are not able to utilize because the current website does not offer that. So I have been working behind the scenes trying to research with other clerks across the state. Catalyst is kind of the municipal website company, software company that I've been working with. They also, obviously, the software will work with the Muni code, which we've talked about also. So when that's ready to go. It is already within the budget. It's still within the same, give or take a couple $100 with the current software that we use. And unless you guys have questions, I can answer. I did put the quote on here. So that is an annual subscription cost, and then initial implementation, which is a one-time. And then, yes, there is usually the 6% uplift per year, which is pretty typical from what we found before. But that's what we have.
So this would replace GWorks, the page we.
Just the website portion of GWorks right now. So like if you were to go out to urbanaiowa.com and you land on that landing page, I've been trying to make shift to make it easier to access, simply because, for example, the current one doesn't use widgets, that kind of stuff. You cannot search in our current website anywhere. So like if you were to go back, you have to go back until you find it. So there's just a lot of features on there that aren't currently available, but the transition would be fairly seamless for us
So
because,
it's a new interface, right?
right, whole new interface
So
is
this-
what we will see.
The 2,000, there's no like initial.
$500.
The $500,
That's
otherwise,
Wow,
yes.
that's.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought it
We
was
spend a lot more on GWorks than that.
Well, we'll still be using GWorks for the simple
I
city
know.
portion, yes,
Front end,
but
I don't know, maybe I'm misreading.
yeah. And I mean, we are and I believe sharing and using a website and trying to get as much, access to city documents on there, and we just don't have a lot of capabilities.
It's
with the current site.
cumbersome.
It's not,
Yeah.
it's not the most user-friendly. but,
It is not, and it also, there's no search capabilities with it, which does make it extremely difficult for people to go back and try and find anything, actually. So,
I found Google searches.
yes, Mayor likes to tell me on his Google searches what he finds that's cached from a while ago. But very reasonable. I did also include, when I sent the email, I think it was a memo, but it was an email. I did highlight some that were right around our area that are currently using Catalyst, which I believe was Center Point. Was it Fairfax or North Liberty? I included them in there. I can't remember now.
Kalo,
Oh, I actually
Central
have
City, and
it.
Swisher.
Which one was it?
Kalo, Central City, and Swisher.
Central City was the other one, yeah. I really like it. I think it's very user-friendly, and it will also, do our muni code that we're doing where it will, I don't even know what you call that.
Codify.
Yeah, but, like our website the new website software is compatible with muni code as well. So hopefully it'll be seamless when it happens.
I'll motion to approve resolution 2026-260.
I'll second.
Bendel,
Yes.
Paskey,
Yes.
Light,
Yes.
resolution 226-260 is approved. Consider resolution 226-261 to approve budget transfers number 1 for fiscal year 27.
Okay, so again, this one is just on there in case anyone had any questions for me. I did go ahead and prepare a memo with a resolution. This is typical, you've seen this each year at the end of the year, which is basically just approving those transfers to start July 1. The RUT, you can see the debt service, the 15,000, actually Maggie just referenced that to help pay on the GO bond, the loss that will pay on the water SRF. And I mean, I don't need to go through each one of them, but these are majority. I am doing the water sinking fund and the sewer sinking fund. With both of those, we're gonna do the transfers instead of lump sums. We're going to continue to do the 1/12 of the payment each month after the revenue comes in. That's best practice. That wasn't necessarily what was being done in the past. So that is something that we're gonna go ahead and do. I started it like in December this last year for the remaining payments. So I like that. I think it gives a true picture of where the finances are after the revenues come in and it's transferred for debt purposes and debt payment. Out of those two, because those are the revenue loans for water and sewer.
We have a motion to approve, or is there any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve 2026-261, approve the budget transfer.
I'll second the motion.
Light,
Yes.
Bendel,
Yes.
Paskey,
Yes.
discuss library request.
Okay. This year, if you are involved at all with the library, I had asked early on, actually months ago, I wanted the library to start keeping track of data for the council for many purposes, but number one, we have a library director that works extensively for this library, puts in countless hours. And I would like to request, based on the data that came and the request that came from the library board, which is a request for $10,000 to up our staffing, for wages for the library during the peak hours, which, as you can tell on here, they have more than 400 summer reading program participants. Many of the activities that have already started this summer have been so large that although we do have the library paving project, those were being moved anyway to the community center during the week because the participation is so high, which is a wonderful problem to have. But we are desperate to have some more staffing hours for library, and I believe it's a very reasonable request, and the dollars are in the budget. I do recommend the council consider this, and then obviously we wouldn't need it right away July 1. So when we do have our first budget amendment that comes up in a couple months, I would consider adding this then to the budget. And my second request is that we add this then to our budget session that usually starts about November, December. The library, as anyone can see that is participating in the community, is really offering from small preschool age, even younger, to elderly in our community, and the programs have been very positive. So I do think that we should also add this as a deeper discussion for budget, but that is the request from the library board, and I think I've presented everything unless somebody has a question.
So I agree. I think this is a reasonable request. And yeah, if you've been at anything, you can see that it's much needed. There's usually, I've been there to check out books, and there's usually a lineup.
Did you guys see that the amount of books that were checked out in the first week of school being out was more than double what it was last year? Like 480 checkouts in the first week.
Roughly about 28 books in there.
Yeah.
Um,
And we also have a storage shed, thankful to the friends, I believe, that's going to be showing up, that's already full. And so I think there's going to be a lot of needs that we need to start
This is
looking at.
pretty much just for the summertime, right?
Right now, the peak, this request will be to get through the summer, probably up until school starts in late August. Yes, but I would recommend that. I did tell her that if she, needs to look at, I don't even know if it would be another high school helper, just whatever, that we could discuss that too, but I just wanted to let the library director know I was going to bring it to this meeting because this is the intense time. And even with the construction happening down there, it is overflowing, so it's a really great problem to have.
My one ask is kind of like you already mentioned is, making sure that the library board and director are prepared to bring forth what they would need into the next coming budget
Yes.
year, and not that we underestimated what next year is going to be.
Yes,
Maybe
I did
a little
tell
bit
them-
higher than what they.
Yep, and I did tell them that after tonight's meeting, I would probably go to them with a bunch of different like data requests, things like that, so they can start looking at what that projection would be here already this fall. So I believe this could be just a simple motion. I think I don't have a resolution. This would be something that would actually I don't even know if you need to do that because it would actually come with a future budget amendment. So,
We'll have a future budget amendment to approve.
yeah, so
Yeah.
this, you could just do
This would
a
be
motion
motion
to
to
approve the request, is what you could do, I think.
Motion to discuss the request and approve the request, I guess.
So the Board of Trustees had a request. Our motion could be to approve their
Request, I think,
request, which
which the
doesn't
request
doesn't
is,
have to have a resolution to
No.
approve the request.
no. Because the action truly that you guys will then take will be with the budget amendment, so it could just be for the additional appropriation for their request, which is the 10,000 for library staffing. So it could just be the motion for their request, I believe.
I will make a motion to approve the library board's request for additional dollars.
I'll second that.
Basky,
Yes.
Light,
Yes.
Bendel.
Yes.
Motion has been approved to approve the library request for additional funding in the upcoming budget. Discuss lost and what revenues and expenditures.
Yes, I should have printed this off. I can certainly go make copies if anybody wants it. So one of the previous things, which we do not have the previous audit, we don't even have a draft of the previous audit yet from September, but one of the things that was a consideration, which I actually started this spreadsheet that I shared when we started the capital improvement plan, would have probably been the first time you would have seen this. Basically what this is just taking the current lost and road use and putting it into a spreadsheet that basically projects out, here's what we think we'll spend this year on what projects, then what the following fiscal year balance would be, what revenue we anticipate to bring in. So on this spreadsheet, I simply provided two, printed them off. One is the lost, just kind of going through and showing the actual compared to still the projected, which, you know, as you can see on here, our lost is fairly simple. We have an annual chip seal that's typically $45,000. And then FY26, we had a transfer for loss to our debt service to pay on that initial part of the water SRF, which was like 28,000. And then getting into the fiscal year 27, you'll see chip seal again. You'll also see the payment that will go to the water from loss. We do have in the capital plan, which we have not discussed, but in the capital plan, there was always downtown street poles that were in that capital plan. We didn't do that last year. If you guys remember, we tried to submit kind of a last minute downtown lighting grant that we did not get, but we did submit it. So we kind of had put that off. And so, I mean, that's still in there and we'll discuss that at a later time. This is simply just to share with you as the council, what our anticipated loss and road use dollars are going for. So for road use, I'll just point out for this fiscal year, it points out what we set aside for our operations maintenance, the streetlights obviously, and then this year, the largest expense in FY26, which was actually in 2025, the 234,000 that we had transferred from road use to the Bing Miller project. This year, you can see right now, we'll be building that road use back up. And the only thing in FY27 right away that you'll see is that $15,000, which again is what may be considered as us using some of our road use cash to help pay for that. So this again is just informational to show that I'm continuing to share with the council how our lost and road use dollars are, what the revenue and expenditures look like.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions, I can take questions. Otherwise, there's really no action on that. It's simply just sharing the information.
It's good information to have. I'm trying to pair it with our capital improvement, because some of this I don't know if maybe you did put the allocations in there, but I feel like maybe something is not. You would have put it on here if it was potentially allocated for capital improvement, right? Or,
Am I missing something?
I don't know, our balance is going up and we don't have any money I thought we had some expenditure.
In which one are you talking about, road use?
Either.
Yeah, I was gonna say both.
lost, I don't remember, I don't know, I'm
Um,
just speaking from memory, not factual at all, I don't remember.
I can go back and check, but yes,
I can't remember what we had planned out, and.
yeah, and I did use that actually, I have yours right there.
Yeah. When Karen came and we made
Yep,
that, was there anything out that far? I can't remember.
Like in 2029, I believe there was a public works truck, which that is in the road use, I believe, like partial funding, that would be like the 29. There was discussion then previously using some road use dollars possibly or lost dollars to help with the sidewalk projects, but that we ended up rolling into the GO. So we did not do that, but I will go back and check the capital improvement plan. Because yes, that's the whole purpose, is that this spreadsheets line up to our capital improvement plan, so. And it's probably, I'm just gonna be like,
I just couldn't
how did I
remember.
forget that?
Because we prioritize all those road projects, like, I can't remember where if it was Main Street from the school was kind of prioritized somewhere in there. I just can't remember. So I was.
There was, and that also, we're kind of still sitting at because part of it is, oh, maybe that's not the one you're talking about, but Ash. We were
yes.
talking about part of that being in October, what we would apply for additional dollars for sidewalk improvements, things like that, for the safe routes to school, which is the actual grant side of it. So right now we're doing a GO, but then we did discuss now taking from the school on Ash Avenue, and applying possibly for grant dollars. So I actually worked with ECCOG this last spring, and we had the surveys done at all 4 buildings at the school on how the students are getting to school, and we did get a positive survey outcome. So that data, I think I will be meeting with Mary at the end of July is where we kind of left that, so that we can start preparing the grant, which will be due, I think this year it's October. And it's not called Safe Routes to School Grant anymore, it's called something else, but I still call it Safe Routes to School. What is it called, you know?
Good question.
The DOT doesn't like call it doesn't matter. But yes, I will definitely go back and check.
CAP, I think.
Yes.
Alternative
Yes,
something, yeah.
yes. So yes, all of that is in motion, and I will go after a grant if it means that we could get more money paid somehow. So I will double check that, because yes, our capital improvement plan is a living document, so it should align with our expenditures, so.
Sounds good.
Okay. And then I do not have that. If anybody, before we shut that off, if somebody would like to read the closed session part.
I would make a motion that we go into closed session at 7:03 to discuss the purchase of particular real estate only where premature disclosure could be reasonably expected to increase the price of the governmental body would have to pay for that property. The minutes and the tape recording of this session closed under the paragraph shall be available for public examination when the transaction discussed is completed pursuant to Iowa Code Section 21.5.
I'll second.
Basky,
Yes.
Mendel,
Yes.
Light,
Yes.
session's closed.
I don't know, yeah, I think I'll just take your information that you have into the closed session, and then I'll write down specific questions that,
Yeah, let me know
okay.
what happens.